way you have a nice defensive front, and you don't have to worry about pushing across the field later. And here we go, couple Vikings, couple dropships. Taking a look at these dropships, the dropships are actually empty, but the Bio Army is coming up in tow. He's about to attack this third base, I imagine. We'll see what he decides to do. Yep, mostly Marauders, actually only Marauders. Yes, there's one Marine in the middle right there. Where can we find little Marine? He's right here, poor little only Marine. We'll see if he makes it out of this alive. Vikings and dropships not going to push in. Kind of interesting decision. Not a whole lot of army units for our Protoss player. 170 to 182 are Terran players in the lead, but he's making much more cheap units. And there we go. Observers scan down. Vikings just taking out that. No more knowledge for a Protoss player. Terran player, look at the way he's got SCVs in every position to prepare for the to prevent the Protoss player from taking that fourth expansion and really deal with the fact. And no, he's throwing out a command center again, really close to the Protoss player, not holding anything back, going right for that aggressive decision making. At the same time, making this into a planetary fortress. I imagine like this a planetary fortress as well, and now the pressure is being really put on our Protoss player. Protoss player is being contained onto 3 bases, while our Terran player is just taking over the map one base at a time. And again, this base hasn't been taken, but it's such an easy base to take at this point because he has such a forward presence and just kind of moving around the map. He is just containing our Protoss player, but our Protoss player is still going to be able to max up out of this, and it's going to come out with quite a potent army. We'll see which army wins in a 200 versus 200 army smash-off. Terran player just backing up. I don't really know what he's moving around for. I guess he's just up, and at the same time I say that, I don't know what our Terran player is doing, but our Protoss player, I can tell what he's doing. He's moving across, and look at that, hallucinating Phoenixes. Phoenix hallucinations are absolutely great scouts, and he's actually, is he splitting his army? No, it looks like he's just preparing to take this third base and wants to be prepared for an attack from either side. Colossi Sentry, the scan goes down, but he doesn't see all these other units right now, so he's not aware of all that. Those Stormers are going to be huge in the form of the Templars. Marauders caught out of position, and finally the 2 armies engaging. Oh man, look at the Colossi just going. War of the Worlds on those Marauders. Those Marauders are being forced to back up. Flash that HP tab just for a second. Look at the Storm just melting it away. Our Protoss player just stays back, allows the Terran player to contain him, but when he decides to move out, he says, "It is my time to take you down," and just commanding our Terran player with quite a potent army against a Bio army. Having those Storms in conjunction with those Colossi is just a potent army indeed for a Terran player to deal with. And he's now turning his High Templars into an Archon. Those Archons do bonus damage against, do bonus damage against biological, which that Bio Ball, as it is called a Bio Ball, is in fact biological. The other thing to note is it is actually a psionic type, so it does not take the bonus damage from Marauders, making them quite the nasty tanks against Marauders. And actually throwing down another command center. I imagine he's going to lift this off and put this over here, but you will never know if this is just going to be a bonus planetary fortress for a supreme defense. And our Protoss player finally going to push in. Stalkers, Archons, High Templars in the back, and Marauders, just a couple of them fighting here, but here we go. Storms go down on both sets of Marauders. Just look at the HP just go down so quickly for a Terran player, but our Protoss player being completely surrounded. It looks like he's not going to have enough to hold back these Marauders from killing off his Colossi. One Colossi is almost dead. Marauders are still trucking. Those Colossi just don't do as much damage as you would like against those Marauders, which are big and nasty. And Colossi going down. About to finish off the last Archon. Archon just running away for his dear life, and the Terran player has crushed the Protoss player's army. And bring up this army tab was already open, 110 to 150. The Protoss player, or the Terran player is just so much in the lead because he has such a macro advantage. Income tab, 1900 to 1500, 88 harvesters to 66. Actually, Freedom's in the lead right now as far as harvesters, but not farm production. Storm's going down, hopefully trying to stop this small push from coming. Storm, storm, storm everywhere. Finally, it looks like the Marauders are about to finish off. No, the Marauders are finally coming in to back this up. Protoss players back in the corner, but warping in units as quickly as he can. Zealots doing everything they can, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Terran players in a dominant position right now. Bring up this production tab once more. Protoss player producing absolutely nothing right now except for High Templars and warping units not getting upgrades. And Terran players currently at 3 attack upgrades, 0 armor upgrade. Backtracking, get that armor upgrade, but the Protoss player just barely holds on. Protects this gold expansion. You see the gold expansion was nearly dead. 297 out of 700 HP. Shield's completely gone. And the Terran player, what did he do with that command center? It looks like he just canceled it. At the exact same time, Protoss player still working yours. Terran player moving in again. Doesn't want to allow the Protoss player a second to breathe. Storm's going down these Marauders, but as you see, it's just not doing as much damage as you would like, but it's actually just enough to hold off. Protoss player holds off supremely well. Income tab is now open. 1900 to 2K to 2K, about even, and a nuke on the field going down, bringing up the production tab. This Ghost is going to get that. Is he going to be able to spot this in time? I want to follow the nuke. There's the Ghost right here. Cloak nuke going down, but it's going to take out this Nexus. The Nexus is gone. Ghost takes it out. Absolutely huge. The probes were able to retreat, but he loses his forward expansion. And finally, he discovers this nice little hidden planetary fortress right in his back door. Planetary Fortress is quickly made short work of. Protoss player finally taking back this map a little bit, but at the same time, Terran player moving across the field with these Marauders, and only Marauders, not even producing anything but Marauders, and looks like adding on some Ghost finally to his mix. Looks like he's completely mined out, doesn't have a whole lot of mining going off at his expansion. Gold is not even completely saturated, and here we go, Protoss player is going to move out, but no, just having EMPs go down. Takes all the energy away from those Stormers, but no, not enough. A couple of them didn't get EMP'd, but there's 1-2 Storms left, and the Marauders may make short work of this, but no, Zealots, as you know, are light armored and do not take the bonus damage from Marauders, but they can't really be kited with that pesky charge. But no, I think the Marauders are going to hold on just barely. Blink Stalkers are even done. Is he going to make it? There's not enough units, but there's just no way that Protoss player wants to commit to chasing those Marauders and making making a very bad trade. Waiting for the charge to finish. Blink Stalkers going in. Archon zapping away. Nothing but Marauders. This is quite interesting. The only unit that will take the bonus damage from the Marauders is going to be those Stalkers, but they're hitting those psionic Archons, and they're making short work of those Marauders, but there's just too many Marauders. Protoss player forced to retreat. Zealots finally, man, this is an epic battle. Both players just reinforcing their armies as they go. God, this is an epic game so far. Charge Zealots, Blink Stalkers, everything under the sun. But no, the Terran player just barely holds on. Those Marauders just do too much damage, and a Storm comes in. Forced to back up, Marauders are forced to run away, and the Protoss player retreats back to his base. He's got this gold base completely reestablished, warping in High Templars as well as Zealots. This is absolutely epic so far. JunwiPrime taking the base over here. Had lost this base already, but he's still mining off of all these bases. Has yet to op back, and here we go. Protoss player finally attacking. No, it looks like he's just going to kind of poke around. Might be preparing to storm. Just trying to storm a couple SCVs. If that Ghost gets an EMP, they're going to lose all their energy. But no, feedbacks the Ghost. Absolutely gorgeous. Feedback in that Ghost before that Ghost can do any kind of EMP to take the energy away, and warping in 2 Archons with those units. Absolutely insane play by both players. Archon's going to make it. No, Archon's not going to make it. Sorry, buddy. Too many Marauders, and he actually makes it away. As soon as he gets away, those shields just regenerate too quickly. He was down to 20 HP effectively, and the Terran player backs on up. Oh, man, saving that Archon is huge. Those shields should regenerate extremely quickly once it's out of combat. And look at this. He's still mining off all these bases. Income tab up. The Terran player is still in the lead due to mules, but our Protoss player has a Harvester advantage, bringing up his production tab. Oh, man, here we go. Feedback in the Metavacs, doing everything under the sun. Marauders, Zealots, Storm, but I think our Protoss player is just going to get out macro because our Terran player has just so many bases operational right now, whereas our Protoss player, as you'll quickly see, is mined out here, and a nuke is going down at the exact same time. Nuke on the gold again. He's moving his units away, but it's going to take out a lot of these probes unless he moves them. Nuke is almost done. Nuke is being completed. Oh no, the nuke's going to go off on the probes. Boom! Tons of probes go down. Storm goes down. Marauders back on up, but the damage is done. Look at the probes. They just got disintegrated. Bringing up the income tab. 77 SCVs to 82 probes. He still has a worker advantage. He's been extremely good at producing workers all game, but as you'll note, mined out here, only mining off of this base right now, completely oversaturated, has no mining in here whatsoever right now because of that Ghost. And our Terran player, look at that sniping, he is up and feedbacks the Ghost again. Man, he is using those abilities of those High Templars extremely well. Using storms, oh man, our Protoss player is just out of this world. But this may just be enough because our Protoss player is at an army disadvantage. Army tab 294. He's doing everything he can to make his units last, but those Archons are warping in, and finally, Freedom forced a good game out. Absolutely epic play by both players. The macro advantage just came out for a Terran player, and those cheap Bioball units just masked up and prevented our Protoss player from doing anything to win that game. Absolutely epic game between two great players. This was TizzouSC. I hope you enjoyed.